all this stuff. So I think it's like irrevocable, irreversible. Everything is going to like, beat data. Everyone kind of got it wrong. I call it little big data. So it's like all the little ants in the world. Like this data is not going zzz, it's going beep, beep. So it's hard, right? Especially think about like censoring the foundation of the building. It doesn't need to talk, every second. So it's complicated, right? So you have the huge increase on the sensor side. You've got platforms like Xively, and I don't think if you're talking out of school, say, look, we put tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in IoT, and we got the biggest, most robust platform, and it's probably not where it's where we expected, right? So something this speaks to timing, right? But I'm in another whole bunch of IoT deals. A couple of them are consumer. I'm in Arcos Golf, for example, and we're at the point where it's ready to fulfill the vision that we had, which is the purpose of all the sensors and the stuff is to spit out data, and then we're going to repurpose the data. Now, of course, we can sprinkle some AI on it, and it's got the residual value of the data is better than the primary use, and I think that's happening more and more.
Come over here. Are you guys? Oh, back there. Good.
Jonathan Siebel, Intelligible English, where software teaches English second language over the internet. And my question is, how do you build out a sales team? And can you walk us through a little bit of that product idea to MVP to
Sure.
sales and
So,
agile?
Let me just say this whole thing first. Like, I don't know this whole fast, lean, startup MVP thing. I think it's kind of bullshit. I'm not like an MVP fan. Let's go create value by doing something minimal. Like, I don't kind of get that. But I will say, here's how I think it works, and it always is nail it before you scale it. And where startups go wrong all the time is expanding before you have the perfect recipe. How do you find the perfect recipe? You got to find a sales guy or whatever who knows how to sell that product, and that's where you start. And I don't care if you go interview 500 people, 5 people, whatever, but you've got to figure out that one synapse. And then you do that kind of locally, and then you expand a bit, and you expand it, expand it. Now, I'm an old school, I'm like a more go-to-market guy. I have no problems starting in smaller markets and growing. I thought Amazon started in books, I could be wrong. Everyone's like, oh, you can go to like Texas, oh, it's not a big enough market. I'm like, what are you, an idiot? Start here, get it right, and then scaling it is so simple from there. Because the person who figured out how to sell it can go train the other person how to sell it. And if it's not a person-to-person sale, if it's the same exact thing on, digital sales. And I would advise you and hope you go read growth hacker stuff. I don't know if you know Sean. He's a guy I mentored for years and years, and now he's built a business out of this growth hacking thing. And in the early days of LogMeIn, the first person in marketing we hired was an actuary. And we took our marketing money and we divided it in $2,500 fleets. And he and I would sit there and write different we'd literally like writing landing pages for anything. Like, hey, what do you think? Oh, yeah, sounds great. And we would test and we test and we test and we test. And we'd optimize, same with AdWords, right? People are like, oh, I'm gonna go get an agency, we'll get 50,000 words. Well, what that's gonna teach you? You know how to buy bulk? You gotta get that, who is the customer? What are they gonna respond to? What's the problem? And when you have that answer, it's so easy to merchandise. But you can't do it like all at once. And this is where, this is where everyone gets it wrong. I mean, really, it's sad.
Another question. Who's up next?
This is more on your earlier points of investing. More so what your thesis. Are you a guy who firmly believes in preferred participation? And then have you ever had to come into an investment late in a round, or like a D round or whatever the hell you want to call it, and fought tooth and nail against the prior investors for the good of the company?
So I am the best friend for management always. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a management supporter. I build relationships with CEOs that say, I'm not your boss. Don't come to me for permission. Don't even have to come to me for anything. The answer is yes. But if you have a problem, I'll obsess 724 on your behalf. So as a result, I get access to all this stuff. So will I go fight other investors on behalf of that? Damn right I will. Do I care, participate, prefer, and all that? I'm not like a quantitative financial investor. When I was at Lazard, I walked in this kid's office on our team, and I'm like, and he's got spreadsheets and all this stuff, and we're doing some crazy recap or something, and I'm like, you see cap tables in 3D, don't you? And he's like, oh yeah. And I said, well, I see people in 3D. He goes, can you teach me that? No. I think a lot of you coming out of the school, so that doesn't like faze me so much. But I will tell you, because you kind of alluded to this, about a thesis. So I'll tell you my thesis. So, and we just presented this. We just had an offsite a couple weeks ago. Like, I'm pretty, open, to kind of check. But here's my thesis: is well, in order to sell high, you got to buy low. So I'm not playing these, increased. I'm not going to get screwed because you want a, high cap and all that. But I'm going to back people who can fundraise. And people who can't fundraise are going to get screwed. So I figure you need the most swings at a piñata as you can get, because every company is going to miss a little bit to your head. So I want to optimize on the most swings on the piñata. So I want to back people who can fundraise. And then this journey has led me to be a group psychologist for millennials. And this is what I've been doing. I've been hosting millennial dinners, right? Got one of my eatery friends, and because they're all so anxious, it's not their fault, but so I let them learn from each other and doing stuff with the mayor's office. So I figured the fish that are in my pool, for the stuff, the companies I want to go build are because they're millennials. So I might as well learn how to, bond with them.
Well, that's a lot of problems that I think we run into are people problems in building companies. And so on the defense of certain participations and the way that people invest, I think a lot of companies, if you're looking at a company to exit, the problem is that a lot of the employees don't know that maybe their A through D investors have preferred.
Okay, so you know what?
Destroy the company.
You're right. So
Yeah.
I got to tell you this story. So when I took over MCK Communications, which is a Summit Partners deal, they had a trick in the term sheet called participating preferred, which had a slang term, but I won't go into that. Participating preferred meant that I give them back their investment before it converts. So they get their $50 million back, and then the $50 million still converts. But they cut me such a sweet deal. As a CEO, is okay. But every single engineer that we hired, I made him sit with the CFO and made him walk through the entire cap table. The problem you have, because you're in biotech, is this. This is really nasty. Is the PhDs and the biotech investors grew up never playing team sports. They were the kids left out on the playground. That's why the programs you work on in your company don't even have proper beta names. They're called the PR 103.